Okay, welcome back to Projects and Slice of Life. 5 minutes. Show. And let's continue where we left off. Okay. This is Microsoft Word. I think we're gonna focus mostly on that, and a lot of folders again on just on Cloud Drive. We're gonna wrap this up once and for all. It's probably gonna be the third episode back to back consecutively. If not, maybe we'll spread it across several weeks, but across 1 or 2 months. But because it might be just like too much Office Suite stuff. It is very mundane. I apologize. I know it's fairly boring. I'm not too concerned with that because ultimately this is more of a record for myself than anything else. But yeah, if you find any of this like particularly relevant, you can take a look and listen to what you see here. Yeah, definitely not. I'm not performing very well in terms of I'm not communicating with a whole lot of enthusiasm. It's okay. That's all right. Let's just get this over with. Okay, so this is the the irony is that when it comes to other channels, right, I've definitely known that some people like to, it's kind of important actually to be able to market your episodes and podcasting and videos, and for many people growth is important. Even if it's not for growth, they have a certain pride in their work, and if it's not presentable or not, the appearance isn't good and the quality of the work isn't concise and engaging, entertaining, they won't find it worthwhile. It really goes to show how little, not how little, I value it a lot, but appearances and presentability and entertainment value ranks. It's important, but it's far less important, relatively speaking, compared to other factors, to the point that I can actually feel a lot of satisfaction and contentment, and still be willing to create episodes like this, where honestly I don't think a lot of people would listen to. It doesn't even matter to me when it comes to these particular series. I'm fine with it, honestly, no matter how boring it is. I don't even listen to it myself, right? But just getting it out there. So this is an application. Long story short, let's just divulge. So this is a Microsoft Word document that has the long form written answers to open-ended questions on a self-report section of a certain type of application for it's like government benefits in a sense. But anyways, long story short, it asks about my employment history, what has changed over the years, what am I dealing with currently in my current situation, why can't I engage fully in my career prospects like I used to, and it's honestly quite depressing, some of these things here. I'm always kind of conflicted because I don't like, you can't tell, a lot of my channel focuses on being basically accountable, responsible, and independent, which the irony is, when you're writing applications like this, you're kind of incentivized to just make yourself seem pitiful. You're even kind of advised to do this if you have like a counselor or a legal counselor, because ultimately at the end of the day, it's do you actually need it, right? And well, yes you do, but then you gotta kind of sell that a bit, because God, you can't tell. I'm really conflicted, but I'm not conflicted. I just don't like it. I know you gotta do what you gotta do. It's like when you're fighting a legal battle in the courthouse, right? Of course, there's nothing wrong with like advocating for yourself. That's why it's called advocacy, because it's gonna be an adversarial battle, and if you do truly deserve compensation, recovery, and remediation, then go for it unapologetically, but it's just so against what I do, is so against who I am as a person. But you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do. So like, just I don't like it at all. I really just don't like it. Yeah. Anyways, it's impacted my employment, my psychological, emotional well-being, my social life, my business, projects and ventures. It's affected my overall quality of life in so many ways. So yeah, that's this application. I'm not gonna detail any further. Let's just move on. I hate talking about this shit, and it's annoying to me to even have to write up an application, let alone speak on it. All right, so what's next is I'm gonna try to pause here. Okay, so yeah, so moving on from that Microsoft Word document. On applications, this one here is very important as well. This one, and for the record, it was one that Word document's open, and we're going to leave it open, is because we need to edit it. There's more changes, substantial changes you need to make to it, especially with regards to like a treatment plan. But I'm not going to detail anything about that, obviously. This here, I also start to cover a little bit with the privacy graphic as well, because when it comes to, this is a resume essentially, but it's not like the standard resume. It's actually a file dump of all employment, career, prospective related activities, experiences, skill sets, right? This is nothing that I would submit. Rather, I would copy and paste certain sections from this and paste it onto a separate Word document that is considered a resume, 1 or 2 pages max. This one's about 7 pages at least, maybe longer, maybe more, maybe like 10 pages, because there's just a large wealth. It's a portfolio. It's like a portfolio. If LinkedIn, you went offline, this is exactly what that would be. This is my offline portfolio on a word processing document. And so all the skills, I'll just read some of this out here for you, right? So for example, in retail, I don't mind showing that there's some information here that it's okay. It's just like duties and task responsibilities. In this case, it's retail, but I've worked in healthcare, and if I scroll down the document, I would see, my experiences, volunteering, shadowing, employment, and business-related activities in terms of like healthcare, medicine, warehousing, administration, clerical, construction, moving, all industries relevant. Okay, so marketing, sales, information, customer service. So discard, reclamation, scrap via SAP app, scanning the UPC, Universal Product Code of products. So daily standardized pick list, annual inventory. I think this might be blotted out by the graphic. Maintain hourly sweep log, monitor and complete daily health and safety operationals, temperature checks, operate handheld devices and digital DFSM application, learn use display shelves, rack equipment, understand flyer, DMAP cycles, write planograms, face article products, bunker sides, central city store, so inform on the LCBO liquor board on strike impact on domestic and imported beer, improvise facing, stock, rearrange liquor tags, specialized niche, voluntary training, negotiating restrictive covenants, cybersecurity, B3 blue, so on and so forth, and blah blah blah. So that's just a snippet, but further down you would find stuff on like optometric assisting, prescription glasses, measuring prescription glasses and fitting them, operating the pressure scanner or whatever, device, OCT scans, just knowing what they, what they do, understanding glaucoma. Another would be, working, supervising kids at a playground, during a carnival event, setting up physical work, just setting up the arcades and so on and so forth, and the bouncy castles, inflatables with a third-party vendor. Another would have been, working at the construction site, remodeling the Tim Hortons and Wendy's and TD franchise, offices, sanding things down with a buffer machine, using power tools, disassembly and assembly of furniture, and racking and shelving, and just moving out garbage, cardboard, rocks, stone, sand, and dust, and all that kind of stuff as well. So that was also, I've just done a variety of things. I met a lot of people, Vietnamese communities, Spanish communities, Latino, Chinese, just white Canadian, American companies, it was just, I've seen a lot, I guess, seen and done a lot. So that's all part of the portfolio, which I would just copy and paste the relevant aspects and dump it into a short 1-2 page resume, the relevant aspects, and yeah. Okay, so I can close this. Obviously I'm definitely past the whole career stuff. I don't see any reason to have this open, honestly. Oh god. Okay, so there are more Word documents here. So these are not, this is I still have one more that's a resume actually. It's an outdated resume, but first let's get through this rather sentimental write-up. It's a draft for last year, maybe about a year and a half ago, when I was still living at the shelter. And I had moved to the shelter after fleeing the household, community, the landlord, tenants, neighbors. It was just atrocious. The household, the blood. It's just, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you know, it's definitely one of those, it's not even, it doesn't even matter what culture you're from, whether you're Caucasian or black or Chinese and Latino. It's just certain communities, certain people are just, we're talking cluster B tendencies everywhere. Attention seeking, manipulative, controlling, aggressive, hostile, oversensitive, paranoid, fucking fear mongering, shaming, just variety of stupid shit. It's crazy. So I was just trying to leave, right? And I went to the shelter, and I felt bad because a couple months in, and I'd spent very little time at the shelter, aside from going back just there to sleep and then leaving early in the crack of dawn in the morning just to go. As a result, a lot of the staff and other people there who were at the shelter were kind of wondering, where I was going, how come I don't get as involved in the community there. And I tried my best, but I just wasn't there as often as I'd liked. So what ended up happening is I drafted up a letter, not like an apology, part of the apology, or just to convey my intentions and clarify any misunderstandings, and just express how grateful I was to be actually at that shelter with the people who I've met. So I'm going to read a brief blurb here. And if you know, it's HomesFirst, but I'm not going to say which location, because again, privacy, confidentiality, we always maintain that clause. We're never going to give anything that's going to disclose. No names either. So here's a little draft, right? And this is so important to me that I might as well just make a whole episode on this, but it might be in the future. So thank you for having me over, for your hospitality and trying to include me in your community. Well, this letter was a long time coming, and I kept it in mind since October. I recognize that by this point it will have lost its meaning for many. Before even a month in, thanks to genuine interactions with great staff such as blah and blah, and doormates such as blah and blah, J and K, A and N, just in abbreviations, initials. I understood that people in hectic crises quickly come and go, oftentimes without a word of notice, and sometimes part ways not on the best of terms. It's not rocket science, but by confirming my suspicions, I made a few hard decisions that you might consider sad, but unavoidable over the long term. I also foresaw that as we in crises and new staff in learning, whatever small community starts will eventually have its once close-knit members drift away as all our lives improve, taking us in separate directions. And as if those above 1 and 2 very realistic and inevitable factors were not enough to pull people away from each other, the fact that each person faces different sets of challenges and triumphs daily means that it's rare for many to connect on a sustainable basis. One day that he shows up energetic and ready to chat, she shows up depressed and too exhausted to bat an eye. Other days it's the vice versa. Too much happens in between, whether from the injury or illness, poverty or excess, sabotage or abuse, threats or harassment, drugs or gambling. Usually it's a combination of all those and more, due both to poor choices and even greater misfortunes that tie in a positive feedback loop. Tied in chains, a network too difficult to break free from the shackles above the threshold to start building enough momentum for happiness, laughter, success, and fulfillment. Therefore, for those with enough varied and depth in life experience to enjoy and appreciate aesthetics, you can reread this letter of gratitude and unbeknownst farewell. While playing the official music video, Glimpse of Us by Joji, in the background, I could not paint a picture of melancholy any better than Dan Stride, his editor. This is, a letter of farewell, a letter of gratitude, a thanks, a letter of just genuine companionship and just having been part of the community, and I was really happy to be there. And I was a little bit, disappointed that I couldn't offer more, that I couldn't be there with them more often. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I've read more than I needed to, right? So honestly, I actually want to save this. I'm going to keep this. This is a document to keep open, actually. So while that document I'll keep open as well, in addition to the application, right? I'd like to make an episode fully dedicated to that letter, but this one is completely different. Well, no, it's not actually. It's kind of relevant as well. It's also a farewell letter. I usually draft these in similarity to cover letter format, so it's like a farewell letter instead of a cover letter. But this one is when I felt that I wasn't contributing very well to my workplace in my previous store and location. So I wanted to write up for the manager. It's because I was facing a lot of public harassment from customers and from the public in general. So at the time, I had a great manager. I had several great managers and colleagues. And A and S were just so, I just enjoyed my time there. It's a lot of fun. It's just some fun shit. I really enjoyed my time there. But I was showing up late all the time. I was still living at the shelter. I still had to, get my shit together in terms of finding more social services, finding a support group, finding a better place to just take a shower. At times I couldn't even take a shower for weeks because, not weeks, but for days and days and days because, actually a full week once. More than once, it's crazy how difficult it is if you don't have a roof over your head. But I always knew it's nothing new. No pun intended. I always knew it's nothing new. Anyway, so let's just read a little bit here. It's basically me saying it's a termination letter, a self-termination letter. A voluntary leave, not a voluntary termination by myself. So it is notable that it's the best decision of myself and many of our team and colleagues that I take my leave. On a cultural standpoint, it's the Danforth is an entertainment district, and many of our staff are geared towards the atmosphere. People share their priorities and values for myself. We don't work to the same degree that I would. Top is cared for, others care for, bodied out. Searching for relatively simple, part-time, full-time, sustainable job with clear duties and responsibilities, as well as a grounded, straightforward team of colleagues and managers. After working a wide variety of breadth and depth in customer service, public health care, warehouse logistics, and clerical administration. So you can tell like half of this is a paragraph on where it's just drafting the farewells, and the other half is like the actual cover letter for applications and applying to a job, not leaving a job, for initiation, not termination of employment. But anyways, that's that. If you're looking for a competent individual who does their job effectively without needing much supervision, is engaged in continuous learning, balanced with steadiness, works well in teams with people both internally and externally with clientele, and carries a flexible mindset or skill set to adapt for either technical or executive priorities, then reach out to my contact as provided. We can schedule an interview to see if our personal company goals with ethical qualities align. Thank you for your time and opportunity. So this is something I can definitely get rid of, and I'm just going to close that right now because get rid of it. And yet another Word document. This one is actually my resume, so this is not the portfolio, right? There was a previous one I talked about, which was the comprehensive portfolio. This is where I would actually paste it, and obviously I have dozens and dozens, well not dozens, but I have like maybe 24 different versions of different resumes tailored and geared for different industries. And again, most of them are just about 1 to 2 pages in length, unlike the portfolio, which spans like anywhere between 9 to 15 pages in length, right? So we just cut and paste, copy and paste the most relevant components. So again, the same blurb here. I'm not going to run through. I'm not going to showcase the relevant experience, because I've been across the all different areas and districts of the city, from if you know, but East York, North York, Leslieville, Beaches, Scarborough, Richmond Hill, Markham, Whitby, even I had a joint in Whitby even. Anyways, so objective persona, relevant experience, relevant skill sets, qualifications. Okay, so again, I just read this already, but it was from the previous. It's the same thing as a cover letter. I am searching for a relatively simple part-time or full-time sustainable job, clear duties, responsibilities, as well as a grounded, straightforward team of colleagues and managers, blah, blah, blah. After working in a variety of breadth and depth in customer service, public health care, warehouse logistics, clerical administration, construction, and whatever, and skilled trades, experienced many highs and lows in both workplace environments and interpersonal relations. Bossed up goals and ambitions for growth and development. Those are now preferably delegated to my pastime activities, side projects, and business ventures. In short, you're looking for a blah-de-da-de-da-de-da-de-da. Read that part already. Okay. So I'm gonna close this because Okay, this is this is loaded. What? The irony of me at one point, maybe about a year ago, considering applying to a legal aid clinic that I just sought legal counsel from. Oh dear. Anyways, administrative file management cover letter. It's like data management, I assume. I would like to apply for your blah-de-da legal services as administrative file management and support, as referred to from Minister and Employment Program Investing in Neighborhoods. And I put a layout here apparently. Reason, objectives, simplicity, personally retired, dysfunctional blood, physicality of general health laborers, hence part-time, healthy, entering novel, proper team-based social situations, advanced optical assistant certification, experience, education, Dr. Beverly E. Smith, interest, desire personally to apply recently learned vision sciences equipment, logistics, supply, nearby craftsmanship, employment. It seems to be an outline I made in red as well, so that's why you see the red font there, but It was just an outline, I suppose. Wow. Okay. We're definitely going to stop here. We're venturing into like PDF territory here. These are PDF files of our resume, so I'm also just tired, and it's odd, right? Because I slept for like 5 hours, and it's only been 6 hours since I woke up, but because it's the middle of the night, it's off the circadian rhythm. So, in addition to the fact that I'm also just my throat's getting really dry, it's starting to itch because I've been talking for like 2 hours. So, okay. Yeah, that's it. I'm done with the video production for now, but I guess we covered a lot. We pretty much closed all of our documents and covered anything that is word related, from cover letters to termination letters to letters of gratitude to several resumes to portfolios. So it's just yeah. I think that's what we'll call it here. Okay. I'm gonna go sleep, so good night, and good luck for those of you guys who are still, for the men and women out there, or maybe if you're really young, who knows, you could just be like a teen right now, who knows, but I'm assuming that most of you who are listening to this kind of stuff anyways are already employed, and you're young adults, right? Good luck, right? All the best of luck. Wish you all the best in your prospective careers. If you're not already, you can always chime in and say what you do for a living, right? You work in administration, office setting, you're doing that paper pushing, bureaucracy kind of stuff, bureaucratic. Are you doing something that's more labor and blue collar oriented that involves warehouse and shipping, receiving? What do you do? Are you a business owner? Are you freelance? Are you executive management? Feel free to just chime in. And if you're not, what are you studying for, right? So, anyways, that's it. Good luck with your careers, your studies, and because that's just kind of what we covered here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So, cheers. Good night. Good fucking night, guys. I'm so tired. Raspy voice, tired as shit.